All right, so today we're doing a branding shoot for ASAP Semiconductor. And this company is actually one of a previous groom. We shot his wedding, and obviously he runs a very successful semiconductor company, and he wanted some photos, video, all that done today. Now, the first thing we ran into was a little snag where Sergio tried to fly the drone and it told him that it was a restricted area. You couldn't override it, you couldn't tell it anything, so unfortunately he had to improvise. So all jokes aside, I mean, even though it's not the perfect situation, sometimes you do just have to improvise. So Sergio's gonna do it with the gimbal really high. I mean, it's still gonna give you a different perspective than if you're shooting it from the ground. So we're gonna do this for now. Sometimes, you know, things just don't go exactly as planned, but do the best that you can with what you got. So this seems like, I guess, common sense, but since Sergio and I are both doing very similar shots, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back and forth. So he's gonna get his shot first for video. I'm gonna help him out if I need to open a door so he can walk through something, all those things. And then for my end, once he's done with that, then I can take the shots that I need. Since photo is a little bit easier, since there's less moving parts, obviously, we're gonna put his first so we can knock those out, and then we'll do the photos right after. Also, as far as equipment, I'm gonna be using the Sony A9, the Tamron 35 to 150, and the Sigma 14 to 24 for the super wide shots. So pretty simple setup. And then the 8200 and the TT600 for my other flashes. Everything about shooting is problem solving. So when we first got here, the TV was showing a little bit of, what was it, the news or something like that? Yeah. So what we ended up doing is we went to the website, downloaded the logo or took a screenshot of it. Then we got the Wi-Fi here and we changed the screen for it to be the logo instead of, you know, the news or whatever.
The purpose for that is for video. We can't Photoshop what we want on the screens. For photo, we can do that.
Yeah.
But for video, we can't. So it's either going to be a blank screen, which we didn't want.
Yeah.
We didn't want the news. So we wanted the logo of the company, and we just ended up figuring that out.
Exactly. You spend most of your time arranging things and moving things than you actually do shooting. Moving plants out of the way that they didn't want in the shot because they don't like it anymore. So moving chairs, moving tables, moving pallets, basically clearing the space where you're more intentional and that everything that is in the frame is because you chose for it to be in the frame. A lot of the times you spend setting up and then actually shooting it takes a couple of seconds. Shaking.
Look at that. Steady as a rock. Yeah, but I shoot with this hand.
We just wrapped up the shoot. It was pretty quick, 3 hours. I mean, it went by really fast. That's one thing that with branding shoots, you guys have to understand that it seems like, oh yeah, it's just gonna be a couple of photos. We'll knock that out in an hour. It's never that short. And even 3 hours is actually very quick. That guy just went over the curb. In any case, it always takes longer than you think. So when you're doing a branding shoot, we do it on an hourly basis. So that way, however long it takes, that's what we build them. It's fair to us, it's fair to them. And yeah, it took 3 hours. We thought it was gonna take 1 or 2 hours. And we could have easily kept going because there's a bunch of other shots that we still need to do. But we're gonna split it up into a different day and we're gonna come back and do those on a different day. So overall, very successful. If you're working with a videographer, whether it's someone like Sergio that I work with all the time, or it's somebody that is new, listen to these. The goal is to make each other's life as smooth as possible. So one thing that I was doing, I was letting Sergio do his shots first, and then I would do mine, so that way my flash wasn't interfering with the video. That way we both get a good amount of footage and we're not competing with one another. Just makes the day go much smoother.
And that's us working together for a long time, that we know the flow, and that still took 3 hours.
Right,
so
exactly.
Remember, if you do work with somebody, maybe, you know, reach out to them beforehand, try to work together or make a game plan, because that 3 hours will go into 5 if you guys are not. You guys don't know how to work
Yeah, usually with branding shoots, you do kind of have your pick as to who you're working with video, like if you're working together with somebody. But just in case, you know, you're doing even an event, just coordinate with one another. Talk to each other in the morning, get there early and get a good game plan. Anyway, it's time for lunch.
Before you end it.
Yeah, andale.
You guys want to hear something?
Go on.
Look, so close so you can hear it, so you guys can hear it. I stole them.
Oh my goodness! All right, Joe, you can bill for the M&Ms that Sergio took.